Hey YouTube, it is Easy E here today, giving you your first ever Ultraman review. I just wanted to first say thank you guys so much for all the fan support over the years. I have not made an upload in I believe 10 or 8 plus years. I've always been an Ultraman fan growing up. Always had the Ultraman movies and used to grow up watching them. I'm a 90s baby, and I know that a lot of my fans today grew up on the new generation of Ultraman. So today I'll be reviewing a fan favorite of mine, Ultraman Tiga and Dyna, Warriors of the Star of Light. Otherwise just known as Ultraman Tiga and Dyna, with the copy that I have with me today. This was actually my very first Ultraman movie that I watched, and it was made in 1998, which was the year that I was born. So let's get into the review. So the beginning of the movie starts off pretty crazy. You got Super Guts out in space fighting a space monster, and you got my boy Asuka, who is Ultraman Dyna, fighting the space monster. So you know, when I grew up, I didn't watch a lot of Ultraman Dyna. I was really a big Ultraman Tiga fan. Ultraman Tiga was still playing on 4Kids at the time, and you had an English dub of Ultraman Tiga, so it was really cool. But Ultraman Dyna was out there, and I started watching Ultraman Dyna way later on in life, like maybe when I was around 14, 15 years old. I watched this movie when I was like 3, 4, 5, all the way when I was growing up. So I wasn't really familiar with Ultraman Dyna, but Ultraman Dyna is now one of my favorite Ultramans. Definitely top tier, top 10. But he's out there fighting a space monster with Super Guts. And then out of nowhere, this ship comes and just vaporizes the large thing. So you start to learn that this giant robot was created by Super Guts, or other organization known as TPC, and it was crazy. It was a crazy little twist as a kid. I used to always get scared of that lady, because there's a lady in the movie who's actually, she's a good guy, but she's been corrupted by the aliens. And at the end she turns good again. She actually becomes a part of the light. But you know, I was always scared of her as a kid because she just gave out this little evil scare, which was like, ah. But getting back to the main story of things, so Asuka starts to doubt himself, because you know, he starts to get scared of the machine, because if the machine's ray blasts at him, it could potentially kill him, right? So these alien ships start to attack the base. And then my boy Asuka has to transform into Ultraman Dyna to save the day, but that spaceship from earlier turns into this mechanical robot. And Ultraman Dyna, you know, he tries to get out the way. He turns to his different forms, and that was actually the very first time I got to see his blue form, which I actually can't remember the name of that form. I know for Tiga it's a Sky type. But basically Ultraman Dyna's version of Sky type is what he turns into. And basically he cannot defeat the giant robot at all. He gets his ass handed to him, and we go through this whole, you know, phase where we see some character development throughout the movie. We get to see Homegirl from Ultraman Tiga, the commander, which was pretty cool. And then towards it, you know, my boy Dyna, he gets some guts. You know, Super Guts. He gets all those guts, and then he turns into Ultraman Dyna. He battles the robot again because the robot is out of the city. And my boy wasn't having it this time. He actually uses his power type, and he hands the monster to him. And here I'm about to play like the best music from that scene, because that scene was crazy.
Dyna!
So my boy defeats the robot, and we think everything is all good, and then a giant vine just comes out of the ground and gets my boy Dyna, and Ultraman Dyna just doesn't even know what to do. More tentacles start to come out and wrap him up, and then this giant monster comes out of nowhere The little aliens in the spaceship from earlier like form together and create this giant monster, and they essentially kill Ultraman Dyna and take out all of his life. So all hope is lost. We think that everything is about to go to hell, and that the aliens win. But then, this little kid comes out. This part of the movie was really crazy for me growing up. Seeing the little kid with the Ultraman toy always gave me hope that I could be Ultraman one day. So just seeing this kid, he's like, everybody believe, and just put your light together. So everybody starts to become the light, and they all become into Ultraman Tiga. And here goes my boy Tiga. Ultraman Tiga is the GOAT. He's one of the most goated Ultraman. I know a lot of y'all grew up on, Jenga and X and Orb, and now you got Trigger. But Ultraman Tiga is one of the OGs. Ultraman Tiga started, the new gen of Ultraman. And maybe I'll get into some reviews of some of the Ultraman series. I especially want to talk about Ultraman Nexus, because Ultraman Nexus is one of my favorite series out there, and Ultraman Max. But Ultraman Tiga comes out and he revives Dyna, and they both save the day. We actually see Ultraman Dyna do a new finisher, where he puts his arms out, different from Ultraman Tiga. He has his own signature finishing move, which saves the day. And at the end of it, Asuka gets all the light, and he becomes one with all the light. So it was a really cool story, really cool growing up moment for Ultraman Dyna. He got to see his predecessors, Ultraman Tiga, and he got to fight along them. And this movie was really awesome to me. I grew up on this movie. This is one of the first movies, Ultraman movies that I saw. And the ending song was something that I used to always sing and always used to bug the shit out of my parents and siblings. So if you guys have not seen the movie, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube for free. But you guys can also go buy a copy and also look it up online. It's pretty easy to access, but if you haven't seen it, this is definitely a good one to go watch. So thank you again, YouTube, for listening to my very first Ultraman review. I noticed on YouTube that there are not a lot of Ultraman YouTubers, and me being, I just go through YouTube and I watch Gamma, Godzilla, and Ultraman stuff, and there's not a lot of reviews of Ultraman stuff. So if you guys like this content, please like, comment, share. Please let me know if you guys want more of this, want more reviews, what you guys liked about this review and what you didn't like. This review is just a rough first time review. I'm trying to see how this works and see how I'm going to make content in the future. So please let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this review, if you want more content and more Ultraman reviews. But love to see the Ultraman community out there. Peace, and I'll see y'all soon.